All right, so I wanted to take a few minutes today. I'm just kind of chilling here at the house. We got the kids asleep. We got Autumn is out babysitting. I had a friend of ours. I want to take a few minutes today and I wanted to answer, or at least offer my thoughts on the age-old question. Should you try to lose fat or should you try to gain muscle? This is a question that I see so many people struggle with. So many people trying to figure out which way should I go? Well, here are a couple things. First of all, to kind of frame this discussion the way I want to frame it, let's assume that you're kind of stuck in no man's land. You're pretty comfortable in your skin. You want to focus on more physical fitness, but you're not quite sure which route to go. You're not in a situation where you're really overweight. You have a lot of weight to lose. You have a lot of fat that you'd like to lose. Your self-esteem is low. Your self-confidence is low. I mean, these kind of things. If that's the situation that you're in, then you should probably try to lose some fat, right? You should probably work really hard to lose some weight, cut some fat, and you're probably going to feel a whole lot better about yourself. So I'm not speaking to those of you out there that are in that situation. I'm speaking to those of us out there that we're not quite at our goal yet, but we're in a situation where you're like, hey, I'd kind of like to do both, kind of like to lose a little fat, kind of like to gain a little muscle. That being said, we would all obviously like to lose fat and gain muscle simultaneously. Right? I mean, that is like the holy grail of physical fitness. Let's assume for the purposes of this discussion that you can't do that. And that's actually a pretty safe assumption. And I'm going to make that its own video because that's kind of an interesting thing in and of itself. And there's a lot of obviously mathematical and kind of scientific reasons why you can't simultaneously lose fat and gain muscle. So let's assume you have to choose, right? It's a choose your own adventure. You've got to fill in the blank. You've got to figure out, what am I going to put in there? All right. When you lose fat, and, I want to take kind of a bird's eye view, kind of a 10,000 foot view, kind of a big picture scope to answer this question. Because along the way, over the course of the next couple of minutes, I'm going to try to keep this to 5-6 minutes. Over the next couple of minutes, I'm going to hit on all kinds of really important things that each one of those command and deserve their own video. But when you lose a bunch of fat, what's going to happen is you're going to be in a caloric deficit over time. Along that journey, along that path, your metabolic rate is going to slow down. Your testosterone levels are going to drop. Your cortisol levels are going to spike. Your leptin levels are going to drop. In other words, when you get done, your hormones and all these different, kind of processes going on within you, they are not going to be working for your betterment. They are not going to be working for your advantage. They're going to be working against you. So you need to be aware of that. When you get done losing a bunch of fat, it's actually going to be very difficult to maintain that. You're going to need a plan. You're going to need an exit strategy and all that stuff. But again, I probably just, introed 19 different videos that I'm going to do here in the future. But I want to make you guys aware that that's the situation we're in. So, all right. So how can I optimize that situation when I get there? Well, I think the answer is, if you are in no man's land, you're trying to figure out what should I do? Should I lose fat? Should I gain muscle? You should gain muscle. You should absolutely try to gain muscle. And I'm going to give you guys 3 reasons in the next 90 seconds why you should do that. Here's the first reason why. And I think a lot of people really underestimate how much, I was trying to think, is it underestimate or overestimate? I think a lot of people underestimate how much muscle they actually need on their frame for them to have or achieve the look that they want to achieve. I think a lot of people will lose a lot of fat, and then at the end, they'll be lighter, they'll be leaner, but they won't be super happy with how they look because they'll realize, now that the fat's gone, they don't really have that much muscle or didn't have that much muscle to begin with. So for the first reason, I would try to gain some muscle so that when you do lose some fat, you're very happy with how you look. For all that hard work, it pays off, and you're like, yeah, this is great. Number two is when you gain muscle, you're going to need to be in a, you're going to need to be in a caloric surplus. So that means you're going to be pushing your calories higher. That means you're going to be pushing your protein higher, your carbs higher, your fats higher, all that stuff. Well, think about it. If you're eating 2,000 calories a day now, but if you spend the next 6-12 months gaining muscle, right, and you end up eating 2,700 calories when it's over, and you've added a bunch of muscle and maybe not added that much fat. You've added a little bit of fat, obviously, because you can't just gain pure muscle. But maybe you've kept the fat gain in check. Well, guess what? Now, when it comes time to cut, to lose fat, you're starting at a 2,700 calorie base or whatever it is. That's so much easier, more effective, more efficient than starting at like 2,000 calories, for example. Thirdly, which is very much related to number 2, is the more muscle you have on your frame, the faster your metabolism will burn. Your metabolism is not a static thing, it's a dynamic thing. It's fluid. You can improve it. If you have a crummy metabolism like I have had for most of my life, you don't have to just sit there and just take it. You can actively work to improve that. And one of the ways that you can do that is, and I'm over time here, one of the ways you can do that is by adding muscle to your frame. So think about it. If I have more muscle on my frame, my metabolism is higher. I burn more calories at rest. Just sitting here on this green chair, if I have more muscle than I did 6 months ago, I'm burning more calories just chilling, just hanging out. So think about what that does for you. That allows you to lose fat more easily when the time comes. It allows you to eat more food now or while you're cutting, which is also good. But number 3, and to kind of tie in what I talked about earlier, what's going to happen when you finally do lose all that fat? You're going to have more muscle, which is going to have a faster metabolism, which is going to help you battle against all those negative hormonal changes that you're going to experience when you lose all that fat. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. 6.5 minutes, that's not too bad. I know the attention span of most people these days is not very long. I know for me, it's about 3.5 minutes, so I'm about double my own attention span. So I appreciate you guys so much, man. I got so many things coming out for you guys. I'm so excited about what's about to happen over the course of just the next couple of weeks. I got real big news coming out really soon. Very excited, very pumped about that. And hey, man, if you guys want to share this, like this, pass it along, I would appreciate that so much. Subscribe to my channel, would appreciate you guys. Just double time, man. That would be awesome. And I will see you guys next time.